So, Namaskar, Kajal ji. Thank you so much for joining us in this particular episode of the Global Menopause Collective. You are one of the first few people to be included in our experts panel, and you will be channelizing this particular movement with your guidance, with your light, and with your energy. So, thank you so much for agreeing to join this. And I am looking forward to such a beautiful journey with your guidance and with your energy in this.
Hello, Harmanjeet. It's my pleasure to be part of this. It's a very well communicated topic, but yet it is difficult to understand. So I will be also glad to be here, the part of this very much sacred or very much well conversed topic.
Oh, very true. Apart from this being a well conversed topic, I certainly have a feeling that, you know, it's difficult for women in this phase of their life to actually start to accept this particular thing. And the reason why is that, number one, they don't have anybody to go to except for a medical help, or a medical supervisor or medical caregiver, I would say. Probably a gynecologist is one of the first people to be approached. But there are so many aspects to this particular phase. And why is this a hush hush affair? Is because we are looking at only one aspect of it, which is the medical side of it. We are not looking at the other aspects of it. Now, to ask you to be a part of our experts panel, you happen to be one of the leading healing therapists in India, and I'm sure you have your audience abroad. So, what all modalities do you work in, Kajalji?
So I introduce myself as a alternative healing therapist.
Wow.
So that includes I use a lot of healing modalities. For example, Reiki, pranic, access
Right.
consciousness.
Right.
I use crystals, which are called semi-precious stones, meditation, counseling, theta healing. A lot of modalities I have as a tool in my toolkit. And
Right.
the most important is the conversation, that counseling part, which is why this is so important because it uh, help to link up where we are not getting this missing piece. So conversation is the highest and most important part of my therapy.
Wonderful, wonderful. And now, this is what is missing actually. This is what I also gauged. I'll come to why I'm into this particular zone, which is supposed to be an all female zone, right? All women zone. So, number one, what I figured out was that men listen to men. And
True.
I wanted to break that barrier that men are not talking about this. So now, if men don't talk about it, women feel it a taboo or something that is not supposed to be talked in the families. Leave apart from their sons and son in laws, friends, colleagues, they are even shy to talk about this with their own husbands, with their own life partners. And the reason why is that all these years we've come from a very conservative sort of a society. And all these years, it has always been, it is her problem. She'll handle it. So as men, as family members, we have never tried to explore what our mother, what our sister, what our grandmother is actually going through, and eventually what the lady of the house, your wife, is going through. So when we start to build an environment in the house, and when we start to explore these things along with her, it is not supposed to be her problem. It cannot just be her problem. Why? Because all her life, all the family's problems were her problems. And now all of a sudden, we just give it the box to her and say, okay, this is your problem. You handle it. You know better. No, she doesn't. Even she's undergoing this for the first time. She does not have a blueprint. She was never given a blueprint for this. So, what's your take on this phase? I would say this section, a big section of a woman's life. What is the dreaded years, as has been dubbed, uh, menopause, perimenopause, and postmenopause. So this entire period of, let's say, about 12 odd years, 12 to 15 years of a life of a lady. So what's your take on this, man? I mean, I would want to understand from an expert such as you about this.
So it was what you have elaborated. It's so true that every woman is facing this phase in her life for the very first time. So
True.
yes, no one has that blueprint. Yes, we
Mm,
all have awareness about that. Okay,
right,
what could happen? We
right,
have all the hormonal changes, the fertility stops or going towards end. You start losing your youth or the that beauty taboo, right? There is so much of having glorified thing that you will
yeah,
lose, you might lose your youth and beauty. And what happens? This is very different for every woman. It's
all
not that what my mother has faced, I will face the same things. It is very different for me as well, for different for my daughter as well. So it is
true,
very individual thing. Yes, we have very generic review about what can happen to a
right,
physical body, right?
true,
But what about the emotional part? What about the mental part? So that is very different for a different person. Yes, of course,
mm,
physical symptoms may vary with
mm,
every individual. So I would like to start it with the very particular word menopause,
mm,
right? So menopause by itself shows us what is the phase actually. So if
mm,
we break down the word menopause, it's it carries pause. The word
right,
pause is very important, right?
right,
So it starts might be at the from the age 45, 47. But what it reflects that it's now time for that woman to have that pause in her life.
mm,
Whatever she was doing till now, her life. She was
mm,
carrying the family's responsibility. She might be, if she is a career-oriented woman, she is carrying her career also, bringing up the children and taking care of the elders. All those duties have might her life is now at that point that she can have that pause. She can hit
right,
that pause button and have the time for herself to sit, to breathe, and to reset her life according to the changes of her outer world and for her inner world. So,
wow,
menopause is not only a medical term which shows the uh, that we are ending something. Yes, it of course ending something, but it is every end has its own beginning. So it's a start also. But
yeah.
in between the end and the beginning, there is a pause button to reset or rewire the brain. Or we can
I'm
say,
so
re-
I'm so glad that you've simplified it to an extent that you've actually included this phase as a phase of pause. I mean, we've had so many discussions, but nobody's actually put it like this. Please go on. Please go ahead.
yeah. So all
Wonderful.
the worldly duties we were carrying as women also, and as every man also in the family is, the part of that woman's life. Now the
Mm,
duties have on the edge of shift, on the edge of change, because children have already grown up. They have their own life, and the physical body, which we were having that much of strength, might be I will not say lose the strength, but the that phase will change. The physical body need more. breaks than the earlier or need more rest time than the earlier. So
True.
it's a pause button to rewire how now my life can be.
I'll be honest with you. Whatever you've said, so while you were speaking, something was going on in my mind. And I'll like to share this with you. I was in the merchant navy and I used to sail for good about, let's say, 4, 5 months at a stretch. And I've done that for 21 years of my life. So one time I came back home and I saw my mother. She wasn't herself. She was down. She was low. And I had never seen my mother like that. So I asked her, I said, Mama, what's the matter? I mean, क्या हुआ है? Why are you so low? किसी ने कुछ कहा है? Or is you facing any problems? So she told me one very important thing. She says, आप उस लेडी की बेबसी को आप फील करना. She says, Harman, all my life, all your problems, all your family's problems, right, were my problems. That was taken for granted. इसमें कोई ना नुकर नहीं थी. But when I started having this depressive phase, and when this particular phase was on the onset of it, I wasn't even sure. So she says, what used to happen was we used to have, I used to have a certain symptom, and I used to go on Google, and Google used to tell me the farthest, most extreme thing, either related to dementia, or to severe depression, or to Alzheimer's, or to cancer, something of that sort. So she says, when I wanted to discuss it with the only person that I trusted the most in this world, it was said that it's your problem. You weren't there. And I hold no grudges against anybody for this. And she says, even if you were there, you wouldn't have understood because you are in the phase of your own life. You go sailing, you come back. वो 2-2.5 महीने जो होते हैं उसके अंदर बच्चों की वैक्सीनेशन करानी है, उनको कहीं लेके जाना है. You have your own obligations. So just try and think the babacy of anybody who's going through this. She cannot tell a stranger. She does not even know which doctor to go to. A general physician wouldn't understand this. बात बात पे आप मुंह उठा के गायनोकोलॉजिस्ट के पास नहीं पहुंच सकते. आपके दिमाग में आता भी नहीं है. एज सच दिस इज अ टाइम ऑफ ब्रेन फॉग सेटिंग इन. सो विद सो मच ऑफ fogging around you, uncertainty around you, symptoms are, there's an onset of various symptoms so many times a day. अभी आपको सही लग रहा है, अभी 10 मिनट के बाद you will start having some hot flashes, maybe then cold flashes. उसके बाद आपकी तो बॉडी का थर्मोस्टेट ही बिगड़ा हुआ है. आपको तो समझ ही नहीं आ रहा कि कौन से डॉक्टर के पास जाके अप्रोच करी जाए. सो टिल द टाइम you don't have somebody senior enough to discuss this, who's been through this. So this is exactly what came to my mind at that particular time, was that why not go back to 5,000 years. Let's see how they were doing it in the Vedic system. They were sabhas, they were samitis. और ये सभा किस लिए होती थी? दैट आपका एक अपना पीयर ग्रुप है जिसके अंदर आप जाके सारा कुछ शेयर कर सकते हो. एंड शी टोल्ड मी वन थिंग. शी सेज, हरमन, ऑल दिस फैंसी टॉक ऑफ मदर्स डे एंड आई लव यू मम्मा, एंड वहां से आप ईमेल्स लिख रहे हो एंड यू गिविंग मी ऑल दैट. शी सेज, दिस होल्ड्स नो मीनिंग फॉर मी. When you back, at least sit with me for 2 hours, 1 hour, half an hour, hold my hand and just ask me and let me speak. And that probably was the time when I decided that I prayed. I prayed to God that please, अगर ये चीज मेरे बस में है तो शायद इसको मेरा स्वधर्म बना के मेरे सामने आप लेके आना. आई डोंट नो हाउ sensible am I sounding here, but it did happen like that. And today, you and I, we are discussing on this particular topic basis this reason. I'm not too sure, ma'am, अगर हम लोग ये वीडियो में रखना चाहेंगे आप, if you want to carry on this thing, but I'm sorry I start shaking a little bit about this, but yeah, this was the main reason why I'm doing what I am.
Right.
एक 2 मिनट का पॉज ले लेते
Okay.
हैं. So, you would want to continue with this?
Yes, we can.
आप करो मैम, continue. I'll take some time.
जी जी. So yeah. So it was the root cause why we are here. Uh, it's not just your mother's story, it's every woman's story. That when this phase comes to our life, the you describe how the family was. It was
Right,
not intended by any family member to ignore her or to not to listen to her, but it's your phase also, job, where you are on the very much in racing time of your career, and
right.
life partner might not understand what is happening, and the society has given that tag na ki this happens with everyone, so not don't just make it a very huge thing. You are not the only person who is facing this,
सबसे
so
बड़ी चीज
this
जो ये
comes from yeah,
लेडीज की प्रॉब्लम है, इनको आता है संभालना. वो दे हैंडल. व्हाई आर यू गेटिंग इन्वॉल्वड इन दिस?
why you are getting involved in this.
व्हाई आर
And
यू
as
गेटिंग?
a man, as you are picking this topic up, there are very few men. Yes, people understand, men understand, but they don't know sometimes. You might, every man, I am sure that they feel for her mom or her life or his life partner or everyone. But it is very, जब हमें ही समझ में नहीं आता, so how can we make you understand what we are going through? So it is
बिल्कुल.
very much not blaming the things कि men are not understanding. It is not understandable by us also who are going through this, right? So we what we can do, we can more simplify this thing. Uh, Awareness is there, but what we can do that इसको simplify करके इसको ज्यादा से ज्यादा कॉमन लोगों को समझ में आए, ऐसे अगर हम उसको प्रेजेंट करें, देन इट माइट गेट हेल्प फॉर
बहुत
एवरीवन.
बड़ा हुआ बना हुआ है. अभी आप बिलीव करेंगे
यस.
मैम, हम लोग ना, when we started exploring this idea, so I along with the two more very senior ladies, one of them was a dentist. So we went to a lake. यहाँ पे एक लेक है, सुखना लेक you call it. So सुबह सुबह ना वहाँ पे बहुत सारे people walk and jog and run and this and that. So we wanted to kind of have a first hand feel that am I going into the right direction or not. So वहाँ पे हम लोग गए and वहाँ पे we asked a few people, I would say about 30-ish kinds, कि what's your take on menopause? You will not believe, out of five, four people answered that this is a cyclic thing which happens every month. They were confusing this with menstrual cycles.
वेरी ट्रू.
They did not know that ऐसा भी कुछ होता है. मेनोपॉज जैसा भी कुछ होता है. पेरीमेनोपॉज, पोस्ट मेनोपॉज तो भूल ही जाओगे. मेनोपॉज की नहीं समझती. What they understood was, ठीक है, आपका एक टाइम आता है जब women cannot conceive anymore. They are
राइट.
still in the same थिंक कि शायद बस दैट्स अबाउट इट. इसके अलावा ये जो बाकी सब कुछ है, दिस इज ऑल एसोसिएट विद टैंट्रम्स.
राइट. राइट.
सठिया गई हैं, बूढ़ी हो गई हैं, वो तो बड़बड़ करती रहती हैं, उनको तो सर्दियों में भी पसीने आ रहे हैं. You see, all these things, stigmas, I would say. So, having said this, I'm not too sure whether we'll include this in the video or not, but let's see how it goes. So, ma'am,
Yeah, it's totally upon you. While you are
uh,
editing the things, what
yeah,
is
we'll see.
looking better on the camera, it's totally your decision कि आपको क्या
Right.
include करना है क्या नहीं करना है, because while editing that is the perfect thing to
हम
see.
लोग देख लेंगे, अगर इफ इट्स टू नॉइजी या कोई ज्यादा कंट्रोवर्सी वाली बात है तो फिर उसको नहीं डालेंगे. वी
Hmm.
डोंट वांट टू हैव एनी रेकअप, एनी कंट्रोवर्सीज इन दिस. तो
True,
इसके
true,
अंदर
true.
मैम एक और आपसे मैं जो है टॉपिक छेड़ना चाहूंगा. आई थिंक दिस इज द राइट टाइम टू डू दैट. इज जो सभा और जो हमने समिति की जो बात करी, जो संहिता जिसे बोलते हैं, जो कम्युनिटी की बात करते हैं. सो वैदिक वर्ल्ड में जब तक हम लोग अपने वेदों को, शास्त्रों को हम लोग समझ रहे थे और उनको फॉलो कर रहे थे, तब क्या होता था? तब वाकई में मतलब ठीक है, एज पर द स्क्रिप्चर्स हमारे 4 आश्रम थे. सो उसके अंदर ब्रह्मचर्य वाज देयर, गृहस्था वाज देयर, वनस्प्रथा वाज देयर एंड संन्यास वाज देयर. बट somewhere in between there was a lot of community quotient also, जहाँ पे ladies did not have to figure out कि मैं अब इसके बाद किसके पास जाऊंगी. My husband has started going towards spirituality, and this is, if you see, according to the Vedas also, there was a period of time when the lady was getting into her perimenopause and menopause, and तब तक शायद बच्चे उनके सेटल हो चुके होते थे या बच्चे बड़े हो गए थे, उनकी भी शादियां हो चुकी होती थी, अपनी जिम्मेवारियों से फारिग हो चुके हैं दोनों मियां बीवी. The day she realizes that she's entering this particular phase, the man also starts to go into the spiritual aspect of it. Because obviously there is no, or very less, I would say, sexual activity that's going to happen. The sexual libido is going down. At that time, there was a period of time when I read somewhere that even the husbands, along with his children and the grandchildren, probably started calling the lady as Ma, triggering one particular, said that this was a phase for the lady to don the role of a grandmother automatically. So you've left the mother part of it and you've donned the grandmother part of it. Not really the literal grandmother, but the grandmother. The grand uh, 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 personality that nature wants you to be now. So इसमें आप थोड़ा सा वैदिक शास्त्रों के हिसाब से या वैदिक सिस्टम के हिसाब से just shed a little bit light on this, please.
So as you said, okay, the scriptures have already 4 ashrams हमारे
Hmm.
in our Sanatan Dharma, right? The Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, and the Sannyasa ashram. So the first 2 parts, Brahmacharya ashram and Grihastha ashram, जब तक मेनोपॉज हिट करता है तब तक वी क्रॉस द एज लिमिट ऑफ
Right,
गृहस्थ आश्रम, राइट?
right,
एंड when this perimenopause or menopause age limit starts, because the biological bodies are structured like that, okay, this with this age your body will face this particular things. So biological bodies have their own cycles. So when age-wise it is the time to enter the Vanaprastha ashram, our perimenopause or menopause period starts.
Hmm.
That is the part where, as I said, कि it's the time to pause. जैसे आपने बताया कि the lady and even the men, we are free from our worldly duties
Right,
by raising our children or earning the bread butter for the family and a lot of social activities. उनका जो एक saturation level होता है वहां तक we have reached as a couple, right? So when this menopause period starts for a woman, for a man also, it is like, yes, I have done whatever I can or whatever I could, or now I can slow down my life also.
right.
So our scriptures were showing that was the time the men and the women, as a couple, they start, sometimes they move to another place for, जैसे रिवर साइड चले गए, या जो गांव वाली, जो आप, हम पुरानी बात कर रहे हैं, बिफोर 5,000 years और लाइक दैट, नॉट
True.
द मॉडर्न एजेस, राइट?
Right.
तो वहां पे दे गो टू द आश्रम्स, जो शायद में बी एवरी विलेज वर हैविंग, वहां पे जाके दे स्टार्ट रिफ्लेक्टिंग ऑन देयर इनर वर्ल्ड, इनर जर्नी, कि व्हाट
Right.
इज नाउ हैपनिंग इनसाइड ऑफ माई बॉडी, इनसाइड ऑफ माई हेड. And this is how that life phase actually in outer world also change. कि
Right.
now children have their own journey. उनको अपनी life, अपनी family कैसे carry करनी है. So we shift the responsibility part also to the children.
Right.
Because they also, we have raised them, we have given them every value, how to carry on their life. But
Mm.
until and unless you give that responsibility to them, they are
Mm.
not going to be as sharp as you.
Mm.
Right. So
Mm.
it is like that, okay, we shift our responsibility, their responsibility to their head. Okay, now it's your life, now it's your decisions. You carry on your life. And now our turn is to look into our spiritual aspect. Spirituality doesn't mean the religion or nothing
Yeah.
like that. It's
Of
like
course.
it is reflecting your own journey, जो अब तक हमने जी है. And now where, from now, where I want to go. कुछ लोग, some people go into meditation, some people go into japa practice, some people continue with their जहाँ पे जो भी उनकी रिलीजियस प्रैक्टिस होती है उनके साथ ज्यादा इन्वॉल्व होना स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं.
Right.
सो दिस इज द फेज ऑफ चेंज फॉर बोथ मेन एंड वुमेन बोथ, राइट? एंड द थिंग, जो आपने सभा की बात की, सो व्हाट हैपेंस, जैसे ये आश्रम्स बिल्टअप होते थे, तो वहां पे of this age people, men and women are start leaving there. So when
Mm.
the people of younger people
Mm.
having their problems, जो वो खुद से सॉल्व नहीं कर पाते, दे कम टू दीज पीपल. इट डजेंट मैटर के द पर्सन, बच्चे जिनके पास आ रहे हैं वो उनके ही पेरेंट्स हो, but they have this community types of the sabha type of thing, कि आप आके अपनी प्रॉब्लम रखिए, and with the experience of those people, the young generation get the way out कि इसको कैसे करना है, right? So at on
बहुत सही.
at those time
बहुत अच्छी बात
we are
कही
not
है. This
having
is
the Google and this
right.
internet things. तो कहाँ जाना? So this is the sabha thing, or this is the community कि जहाँ पे it should not be that आप हमारे, it is not the bloodline thing, it is the community as whole,
Right.
कि you come up with your problems, and जिनके भी पास वो experience होगा, they can help you out to find your way. With this, I have one very small example.
Right.
As a mental health consultant, I am working in this field since last 13, 14 years. So one of my client came. Okay,
Mm.
she has started her perimenopause period, and when she asked with the symptoms, yes, as you mentioned, medically and jo hormonal changes, that hot flashes, mood swings, everything, she has consulted doctor, but nothing was working out. Physically, it
Right.
was going on, but she was concerned more about her inner peace. She was
Mm.
not getting that. She asked her mother. Her mother said that it is very normal. It is a phase, it will come to an end. So don't
Right.
panic, don't do this. So mother has given only that advice. Then they both go to their grandmother. Okay, what
Mm.
she has been through in her menopause period. So her grandmother also similarly given those words के हमारे टाइम में तो ऐसा कुछ मेनोपॉज वगैरह सब चीज नहीं थी. वी,
Yeah.
इट्स जस्ट कम एंड गो. तो हमें तो
Right.
पता ही नहीं था. सो इट हैज
Mm.
जस्ट गॉन.
Mm.
We have never even have this word, never have this importance yeah, if you are having suffering from even physical problem, you can have your own space, right? So after very lot of conversation thing, and we have come to that conclusion. Okay, let's have not the ritual type, but they have created a ritual. Okay, once in a month, the lady who has come to me, her mother and her mother, the three generation, they sit together one particular day. They light a candle and they talk with the family. They share their experience and they have in entire month. If the person who has come to me, she was a working lady, so she
Right.
shared her workplace experiences, what she has, sharing all the stories. So this, because of this ritual they have created for their own family, family has started connecting more to each other. And after the practice of this ritual for 4, 5, 6 months, that lady came to me that this has helped them a lot as a family. Also, they have come together. The closeness has increased, and जो problems she was facing, that has helped her. जो someone is sitting and listening to her, just having she was having those years कि हाँ मुझे कोई सुन रहा है. And no matter I am having mood swings, no matter I am having hot flashes, no matter I am losing something, the word losing was hitting her like anything.
Right.
वो इंटेंसिटी कम हुई. तो जो सभा की और कम्युनिटी की बात है, like this we can form this structure, and this is going to help every person in the family, not only
Absolutely.
women, every person.
लॉन्ग टाइम बैक काजल जी, मैंने एक आर्टिकल लिखा था और उस टाइम मुझे नहीं पता था कि इसका इम्प्लीकेशन क्या होगा. दैट आर्टिकल वाज बेस्ड ऑन टू वर्ड्स, इंडिपेंडेंस
Hmm.
वर्सेस इंटरडिपेंडेंस. ह्यूमंस ना हम लोग, इफ यू गो टू एनी रिलेशनशिप, चाहे माँ बेटे का है, चाहे हस्बैंड वाइफ का है, चाहे भाई बहन का है, चाहे मियाँ बीवी का है, चाहे दोस्तों का है, या आपके कोलीग्स का भी है आपस में रिलेशनशिप, this is something based on interdependence. You depend on each other.
True.
Over a period of time, what has started to happen is that we've started to displace interdependence with independence. You want to do everything by yourself. So, उस चक्कर में क्या होता है? The problems are yours, the rewards are yours, but essentially the struggle of going through all by yourself is also yours. So, what we are trying to do is we are trying to tell everybody that you're not independently involved in this. Let's get interdependent. Let's go back to the Vedic structure. Let's go back to how our ancestors have been doing this. अब आप खुद सोच के देखो, the average difference between a father and his son or his daughter is approximately 25 to max 30 years. आप 30 साल भी मान लो मोटा मोटा. अगर आप पिछली 10 पुश्तों की भी बात करते हो, देन ऑल्सो वी आर टॉकिंग ओनली एंड ओनली 300 ईयर्स. जो हमारा डीएनए स्ट्रक्चर है, जो हमारे अंदर जो दैट एपिजेनेटिक्स जो हमारे अंदर है, जो हमारी सिखलाई है, जो हमारे अंदर बसा हुआ है, जो सहज है, सहज मैम, वो 5,000 साल 10,000 साल पुरानी चीजें जो हमने आज तक करते आए, हमारे पूर्वज करते आए, आप उसको 300 साल की पढ़ाई से या लास्ट, मेरे हिसाब से तो जो आई थिंक व्हाट वी हैव स्टार्टेड टू शिफ्ट फ्रॉम द वैदिक सिस्टम इज जस्ट अबाउट लेट्स से 40 इयर्स बैक, जब से मॉडर्नाइजेशन का हमारे को चस्का चढ़ा है अब से, है ना. सो 40
Right.
साल 50 साल के पीरियड में अगर आप चाहो कि हमारा पूरा ही सिस्टम जो है वो रीवैम्प हो जाए, वो नहीं हो पाएगा. सो अगेन, इंस्टेड ऑफ अस फाइटिंग दीज थिंग्स, if we start going back and looking at what was happening in the Vedic system, we are very fine. आज की डेट में जैसे आप और मैं हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, लेट्स सी अगर और 10 लोग इस कॉन्वर्सेशन में जुड़े होते, तो आज यही चीजें जो हर एक किसी के डाउट होते हैं, आज आज की डेट में क्लियर हो जाते हैं, एंड यू स्टार्ट टू हैव अ बिलोंगिंग टू अ पर्टिकुलर सोसाइटी, अ पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी. यू नो कि वेर एवर आई एम, वॉट एवर आई एम डूइंग, आई जस्ट हैव टू गो एंड राइट अ कमेंट, राइट अ सेंटेंस कि प्लीज आई नीड सम हेल्प, and you have everybody. What so that's what we are trying to do is we are trying to have the expert panel with every possible expert level here. With people with expertise from dental to gynecology to spiritual healing to ayurveda, yoga, meditation, sound healing, because this particular phase is not just a medical phase. This has so many attributes to it. अच्छा, अब उसके बाद क्या होता है? आपने नॉलेज दे दी, आपने नॉलेज सारा कुछ you have provided to the other person, then what? So this is what we are coming on to, is that we are even trying that once this community is live and active, then we want to organize retreats for people. आपको नॉलेज भी आ गई, आपने सब कुछ कर लिया, बट देन आपको ये भी बता दिया कि आप मी टाइम निकालो. अब इस घर में रह के जब सारी गृहस्थी की जिम्मेवारी आज भी ग्रैंड मदर के ऊपर ही है एक तरह से, सो वो मी टाइम कहाँ से निकालेंगी? So this is exactly what we are trying to do, is that instead of giving her all this nonsensical gifts, start to invest in her happiness for once. And probably she can do it for herself. So, Kajal ji, what we've discussed till now is that, what are the symptoms of menopause, and how is the onset of menopause in the physical and the mental aspect of it, the emotional aspect of it. But I want to understand one very basic question as a man. And why did nature introduce this particular phase into a woman's life? I mean, what is your, um, understanding of this whole thing?
Okay, so let me give this your question. Usko, let me have a story with here.
Right.
So there's a woman, we can have a name, like the woman's name is Meera. She's
Okay.
living in a village and small town village, have all the modern societal things also, and they have still that community wala essence because it's a small place where she was living. Uh, Up until her age hit the menopause state, she was doing all household work, raising her children, helping her husband with the financial things also, and taking care of the elderly people in her house and everything. She was running with her duties. Yes, she is a modern woman, so she's taking care of her also.
Hmm.
But when she hit this menopause period of her life, she started feeling that she is changing from inside. She's feeling that her emotions are changing, her thought process is changing, and she was not finding the way out. कि इसको कैसे, how should I share this? Because she is
Hmm.
also not getting what is going on.
Right.
And as the routine course, she also visited the doctors, and she get this thing that you are might be hitting the menopause period, and
Right.
these are the symptoms. So you just have to pass this time of your life, and you will
Hmm.
be at the other end. Everything will be absolutely fine. But
Hmm.
the answer has not given her that satisfaction. Okay, it should not be like this. Yes, everyone has, a lot of people are living like this only, but she was not convinced with the answer. So one day
Hmm.
she was sitting out जो उनके घर के बाहर जगह थी, there was a banyan tree. She was sitting with her lot of questions in her mind. And as the place was quiet and she was so much intent to have the answer. She heard something. It's like, we sometimes have the answers हमारे अंदर से ही आते हैं, जो हम ढूंढ रहे होते हैं बाहर. The answer, all the answers we are searching for, they are lying inside of us. So she heard, or she has might be have those answers. Okay, Mira, up until now, you are pouring all your energies to the outer world.
mm,
Now it's the time to pause, to sit with yourself, and start pouring that energy inside of you. You
mm,
can heal yourself, all the things which are needed your attention, which are
right.
needed to be healed. You can have your hobbies जो आप लेना चाहते थे, your creative part जो करना चाहते थे, but because of these worldly duties, which are also
जिम्मेवारी.
necessary to
Yeah, of course.
which are also necessary to run the generation and everything. uh, but now it's time to have everything you are wanting at some point of time. It can be
Mm,
your hobby, it can be your creative side, it can be anything. You can start pouring that energy for yourself. So it's time to withdraw some from outside and start pouring more to you,
right.
right? And that has hitted her like anything. So she has started, because now she was having a lot of time because बच्चे बड़े हो गए थे and a lot of duties were have over. तो she has started teaching विलेज के बच्चों को, जो
Right.
उनको पढ़ाना स्टार्ट किया. द न्यूली बिकमिंग मदर्स, उनको उनको हेल्प करना स्टार्ट किया कि हाउ दे कैन हैव दिस, प्रेगनेंसी वाला पीरियड है तो उनको कैसे अच्छे से कैरी करना है. शी हैज स्टार्टेड लर्निंग सम स्क्रिप्चर्स जो उनको करना था. शी हैज स्टार्टेड हर पेंटिंग, जो उनकी हॉबी थी, जो शी wanted to opt. It's not like she have to have that competition wala thing. It's for her own sake.
Our
And
own.
like this, her own
Yeah.
satisfaction, yeah. And like this, she has become that wise lady in that village or in that city. So it's the nature's way. Okay, now you are at your graduation ceremony. You have
Mm,
done, you have all your lessons जो आपको learn करने थे. Now you can be a graduate, and from an intellectual person, you can be a wise person who has learned their lesson and now ready with a lot of experience to forward this experience to the people who are needing this. So
Dawn
it's nature's
a
way.
bigger
Yeah,
responsibility. Yes, yes. I think this is more like a graduation ceremony for
true.
any person. That अभी
Yes,
तक जो आपने सीखा, जो आपने करा, you've done it very nicely, you've done it very well. But now nature intends to put on a bigger responsibility. So instead of अपने कंधे ढीले छोड़ के, rather hold up with all your confidence and all your I would say experience. Because
yes,
very frankly, by the time a woman has reached this particular stage, she's passed through so much
yes,
what we men can't even think of, and by the time she has reached this particular phase, her experience is so much that she can actually look after her family, her children, her children's families, probably at that time
true.
also. So yes, this is a very good, I would say undertone that you've shared, that this is a graduation ceremony. But you said something very, very profound, and I happen to write it down. The answers you seek are already inside you, and this, as you mentioned ना, मीरा को वो हिट करा, ये चीज मुझे बहुत हिट करी कि बिल्कुल सही बात है, जो हम लोग सोच रहे हैं, जो हम लोग ढूंढ रहे हैं, वो हमारे अंदर है, वो सहज है. But it is just that sometimes we intend or we need to talk to somebody as yourself who is into so much of energy healing, ताकि आप उस चीज को स्क्रैच कर सको कि ये देखो, दिस इज व्हाट यू वर लुकिंग फॉर. अदरवाइज हम लोग क्या है, हम लोग एक परत के ऊपर एक परत लगाई जा रहे हैं. आज आंसर्स भी हमारे पास हैं, उसके ऊपर एक्सपेक्टेशंस भी आ गई, उसके ऊपर और क्वेश्चंस आ गए, सब कुछ आ गया, और वो बेचारे जो आंसर्स थे वो कहीं दब के रह गए और उसको हम लोग देख भी नहीं पा रहे हैं. सो यू आर 100% राइट. Two things I would want to bring up. One is not necessarily that when you are progressing in physical age, progressing in age physically, you're also progressing emotionally and mentally. It may not be true. It may not be true कि अगर आप उस पर्टिकुलर एज के नहीं भी हो, अगर आप पेरीमेनोपॉज मेनोपॉज नहीं भी हिट किया है, तो भी आप ग्रैंड मदरली इंस्टिंक्ट्स आप में या मदरली इंस्टिंक्ट्स नहीं होंगी, होती हैं. माय डॉटर, शी इज 11 years of age. She has more motherly instincts for my son than probably I have as a father towards him. So वो चीज कब किस में सेट इन हो जाए, यू डोंट नो. सो ऑफ कोर्स द मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड सीज इट एज कि अगर आप 20 साल के हो या 25 साल के, तो यू हैव टू हैव अ सर्टन बिहेवियर, अ सर्टन मेंटल मेकअप, विच इज नॉट ट्रू एज सच. देखा जाए, अगर आप हमारे प्रणाली के हिसाब से चलो, तो दिस इज नॉट देयर. So having said this, ma'am, let's just see that if we have this particular community, which is not only for perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal women, but even for girls who will eventually get married and eventually set into a perimenopausal stage. But for them, it makes sense to be in a matured sabha from where they can actually start to find guidance. And this is something what I've been wanting to discuss with senior people as yourself. आपके हिसाब से how should this community structure be functioning? What is your you know let's say thinking about this? One of the things that I want to inculcate is that I want to have meaningful conversations. Very important. That's very important. The other thing is that we should have some activity which instigates is not the correct word, but which actually encourages people who are the members of this particular community to deep dive into themselves. अगर आप एक particular इनिशिएशन के थ्रू जाओगे, तो यू कैन एक्चुअली डीप डाइव बेटर. अगर मैं आपको वैसे ही बोल दूं, अच्छा चलो आज अंतर्मन की बात करते हैं, तो आप हाफ ऑफ द पीपल डोंट इवन नो कि अंतर्मन कहाँ है, किस कहाँ कहाँ से बात होगी है. सो having said this, there are a lot of things that can be done. What is your thinking about it, and how do you think we should progress in this, ma'am?
Right. So we can have this fine tuning with our intention. Okay,
Hmm.
let's just first slow down. जो भी हम अ, हर एक इंसान जो इतना वी आर कॉन्स्टेंटली ऑन स्प्रिंट मोड. सो
Right,
उससे it's necessary to come to the marathon mode because it
right,
is not 100 मीटर 200 मीटर रन करके छोड़ देना है. We have to live our entire life. So
right,
the first and foremost is slow down, right?
right.
Then start tuning yourself with yourself.
Hmm.
It is like adapting everything जो हम जी रहे हैं, the modern culture, the modern society. As you said, your daughter is having more mature things with your son than you are having, right? So yes, this generation have that adaptive capacity कि they, if it is presented in the way they understand,
Hmm.
they will definitely going to adapt it. So
Right,
this community wala thing which you were uh, being said, कि not particularly for the menopause वाले stage वाले women के लिए या men के लिए, it can help the further generation also
right,
because
right,
this generation is having very beautiful sense of adaptability.
right,
They they definitely understand what you are. willing to say, but we just have to learn their language, that bridging language should be there. So these
Mm.
are some structural things. Okay, slow down, tune yourself with yourself, and then when we have to be that community, we have to learn the languages. It's not the language I'm speaking, the
I understand.
emotional language, that
Right.
bridge, how we can uh, first to connect with the person who is coming, and no question should be like, अरे ये तो ठीक है ना, इतनी छोटी सी बात, इतनी बड़ी बात. It's
Mm.
not. It should be that non-judgmental is a very
Ve-
big word जो बहुत ज्यादा
Very.
यूज होता है, but very neutral state. कि yes, it is absolutely fine कि जो चीज मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ी है वो आपके लिए बहुत छोटी हो सकती है.
छोटी होगी.
So we can be at that very neutral state कि yes, you can come up with anything and everything you want to.
Any question is most welcome. Any
Any
doubt is most
question is
right.
yes, yes. And this is how the community work according to my understanding, because it was initially like कि there are still villages या ऐसे ऐसी जगह पे है ईस्ट नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया में जहाँ पे they don't call the laborers to build a home. The community
Absolutely.
people together they build the home, right? So
True.
it is not
True.
the age, it is not the physical strength, it is the combination of everything.
Ah,
Right. We have heard
true.
about the Auroville village also, okay, जहाँ पे there is money is not the exchange currency. Your seva is your exchange currency.
आपने बहुत बड़ी बात बोल दी मैम. एनर्जी इज करेंसी. योर
Yeah.
कॉन्शियसनेस इज करेंसी. सो आप, अगर मैं आज आपके पास आया हूँ कुछ मांगने के लिए, तो आप मुझसे पैसे ना लेके अगर आप मेरी एनर्जी एक्सचेंज में हम लोग बिलीव करें, उससे ज्यादा तो और कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता.
Yes.
एंड दिस इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट कम्युनिटी इज फॉर. If I may request, I can only request. You are, such a uh, experienced person in this field. One of the contributions that I may ask from you is that will it be possible for you, if you agree, to do a weekly, let's say, a small meditation for this particular community, whereby nobody is judging each other, whereby people just come selflessly, join in, sit in, and do a particular meditation under your guidance. One day.
Absolutely. 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 We can
Thank you so much.
definitely do this.
That is such
And
a
not
big
just
gift.
the meditation, not just the meditation, we can always have a small topic uh,
Okay.
for about 15, 20 minutes where someone, not only me, if someone is having that topic, I want to have discussion here. So that is
Hmm.
how this community will start building up.
Right, man.
Yeah, I want
Right.
to
True.
put this question. So we can also have that पर्टिकुलर इमोशन के ऊपर मेडिटेशन कर सकते हैं, पर्टिकुलर चीज के ऊपर मेडिटेशन कर सकते हैं. मेडिटेशन कैन बी guided meditation can be a silent meditation can be, as you said, a sound healing meditation. Lot of things can do uh, for an for such an activity.
So अभी तक जो हमने प्लान करा है, what is it is that we have at the max 30 experts. Right. I'm just trying to categorize people. इसमें अगर आप जैसे somebody is a giver, somebody is taker, but in a community everybody is a giver and everybody is a taker. है ना? तो हम लोगों ने दो कैटेगरीज में लोगों को ज्वाइन करवाना है. वन इज द एक्सपर्ट्स who are experts in their own fields, and there will be members who we are not asking for anything from them right now. It's a no cost thing. इसके अंदर the members don't have to pay any membership to join, something like that. But this is going to be a closed community. That means whatever you say and do in this particular community, the majority of it will remain in closed confines. and it depends on us. What do we want to send out into the world? So think of it as a fortress, जिसके अंदर एक गेट है, और उस गेट के थ्रू जाने के लिए आपको अपना वैलिडेशन, आपको अपना यू नो आई वुड से पर्सनल चेक करवाना पड़ता है, दैट व्हाई डू यू वांट टू गो इनसाइड.
The purpose
इट इज नॉट
behind.
इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी लाइक अ पब्लिक यूट्यूब वीडियो की जहां पे कोई भी आ रहा है और अपना मन धड़क कमेंट दे रहा है. अदरवाइज व्हाट विल हैपन इज पीपल विल नॉट ओपन अप टू दिस पर्टिकुलर. अभी आज अगर मैं अपने इनहिबिशंस को आपके सामने रखना चाहता हूं, तो मैं तब रख सकता हूं जब मुझे पता है कि ये चीज लीक नहीं करेगी. So this is going to be in a closed confine. That membership is obviously going to be free. People come, we have these sessions. Let's say आज आप और मैं बात कर रहे हैं, tomorrow maybe आप, मैं और somebody from the yoga background can be speaking along with us. So the same topic will have three directions. From the
True.
skincare, dermatology, naturopathy perspective, from the energy healing perspective, from the yoga perspective. Maybe we have another person, let's say a gynecology doctor, a gynecologist join in at a future thing. So उसमें क्या होता है, whoever is listening, they can actually ask questions right there and then. So this starts to become a very big database of one question being answered from four perspectives. अब इसके अंदर हम लोग क्या चाह रहे हैं, जैसे weekly we will have a meditation. Weekly we can have a chant session. Weekly we will also like to do twice a week something which has not been attempted earlier ever. आज की डेट में let's say I am feeling low. So we have a space where you go, mention your name, and you say, I'm feeling low. I need some energy. So the immediate next meditation, we are going to include you, send out that energy towards you. And this happens. You being an energy, manifestation and a healing guru, you would agree to this all the more. This happens. And you don't really have to sit down together. This happens on all mediums. So this is the concept behind it. And what we intend to do is, let's say, at a later stage, we want to bring in rewards, not as a bribe, but as a token of appreciation. So this community becomes a very, very active, very ripe, very matured community, whereby the questions and answers that go on in this particular group, they become a sort of a granth about menopause. So this is the whole intention of creating global menopause collective. And we don't intend to be restricted towards India. No questions asked. Wherever we find a gap, we would want to reach there. So experts start to join us from other countries also. So I'm so thrilled actually, Kajalji, that you agreed to step into this particular realm from the very beginning, whereby the structure wasn't even prepared. आपने दो बारी मेरे को कुछ भी structure के बारे में नहीं पूछा. You didn't really bother to ask me कि अच्छा what is it in for me, because you are a giver. And आपने you have spared, let's say, 1.5 hours with me. You've agreed to kind of do a weekly meditation for us. So I don't know how can I thank you enough for this. So thank you so much for such a brilliant walk through this particular phase. And of course, my intention will be to keep interacting with you, to keep bringing people and their questions and their doubts, so that they have somebody who is credible, who is not only knowledgeable but believable, who can understand their problems and they can seek guidance from you. So thank you so much, Kajalji. Thank you so much. I really don't have the words to really thank you enough today.
So it's Yeah, I accept your gratitude. The energy is should be accepted. So I'm in total receiving mode of this gratitude. But I
Thank you.
myself is going through this phase, that menopause, and this is something which I have started living. जो मैं बात कर रही थी कि it's time for me also to have that pause,
Right.
and reflect on my inner world and
Right.
whatever I have gained. So if I can, I will use the word giving back to the society. Okay,
Great.
whatever I have gained up till my this age from the society, from the people, from known and unknown people. You, we all have such kind of people जो जहाँ पता नहीं कहाँ से आ जाते हैं और कहाँ से हेल्प करके फिर वापस चले जाते हैं.
जाते
सो
हैं बिल्कुल.
इट्स द नेचर, इट्स द यूनिवर्स जो हमको नर्चर करता है, हमको हमारी केयर करता है, हमें सब कुछ देता है. सो नाउ व्हेन वी हैव दिस लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इनसाइड अस, सो इट, we just shift the type of duty. Duty is not going to finish. We are just shifting it from only my family to the family as on the entire universe, right? So it's giving
Universe.
back to the society from my side also. So yes, it's even my pleasure to be part of such a beautiful cause.
Thank you so
And
much.
yes,
Thank you.
it's not the menopause thing. It's like it is for everyone because
It's a
when,
it's a cause. It's
yes,
a human cause.
it's
Yeah.
a cause.
I mean,
It's a
even
cause.
why just term it as a menopause thing? Of course, we started as a menopause thing, but yeah, they will. You never know. There might be men who would be interested in joining this community. And it'll be our pleasure to welcome people because, of course, this phase affects families. This phase
Yes,
affects workspaces. So जो भी जहाँ भी हम लोग इसके बारे में कुछ ना कुछ कर सकेंगे, of course we will definitely want to do it. So
yeah,
having said that,
absolutely.
I'll I like to end this session and on uh, a very genuine promise and one request again that we should do such a video again, whereby the next video we would want you to guide us through a small meditation. And I myself would be so very inclined at learning this from you, you know.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
मेरी तरफ से जो आपको चाहिए होगा, जो requirements होंगी, if I need to learn something, if I need to, be prepared in a certain way, I'll definitely be. But I would want to learn this phase and this technique from you.
Just only prerequisite for every person is their willingness. Rest
Oh,
of the
yes.
things will be taken care by the universe by itself. हमें कुछ
Perfectly.
नहीं करना पड़ता है. We just have to be ready from with our willingness and with our intention कि मुझे करना है. That's it.
ठीक है. Perfect. So, thank you so much, Kajal ji. And
Yeah.
we'll end this video with a very beautiful promise to meet again very soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much.